Hey guys, welcome back. I am going to go over to the PTR patch notes that just went in today on December the 5th, and we're going to go over and talk about some of the big changes that are going on. So, let's just dive right in. Get some nice water. Alright, so, go ahead and talk about this. Big thing is, this is the Ragnaros patch, right? So, we're getting the Wintervale stuff that's coming in. This is going to be nice little rewards and stuff. Nothing huge to talk about. Party sizes and rank play. This is going to be actually a pretty big deal. Hero League is going to become fully solo queue. You can no longer duo queue in it. And then Team League, 2, 3, and 5 player parties. Oh, that makes sense. And so if you have a group of 2 or 3 or 5, you can queue for Team League. This is going to be a little bit chaotic, I think, to begin with, because you're still being matched up with groups of 5, and for a competitive experience, that's going to be really obnoxious. Trying to coordinate groups of 2 plus 3 against a group of 5. So that's not going to be very beautiful, but we'll have to see. Especially since we have this first come first serve during draft mode, which basically means in Hero League typically you have it goes in order down the sides. In Team League, it was fine before because it was always a 5v5. So you'd have 5 people in comms, say like, all right, okay, let's see, what do we need for this? Like, let's pick ETC. All right, sure, I'll pick ETC, and that person picks. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult because you're matched with random people, and if you're matched with trolls or something like that, they could insta-lock, first pick Murky, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. And you're just kind of stuck with that. Or if somebody really wants to play Nova, and they don't want to make sure they don't have to play tank or healer or something like that, they may insta-lock Nova. So it's kind of gonna be annoying. We'll see. I'm a little bit dubious of that rule. Some minimum rule requirements, but whatever. I don't think it's gonna matter too much. Matchmaking system certainty level has been loosened in order to allow more mobility. I still don't think that's the problem. The problem is just that promotion and demotion matches kind of suck in this current system. And they're just changing the population size of the leagues. So Diamond League is going down. There's going to be a lot less people in Diamond League. New hero, Ragnaros. But I don't think that actually matters because the mobility in between leagues, aside from promotion demotion matches, is really easy to go up and down. So I don't think, like, when they say that Diamond League will contain less players, like, I don't think that will actually matter. Like, I think there will still be a lot of people moving up and down between Diamond League and Platinum League and shit like that. So we'll see. Ragnaros, I'm not gonna go over Ragnaros. It's for another time. But he looks exciting. I think he's definitely gonna be viable pretty much right off the bat, just because of what a lot of what he does is really useful to the team. Really good. There's a battleground rework for the Haunted Mines. So currently this is on they're just playing around with this to see how it works. It may come back in the rotation. I hate Haunted Mines, but this sounds like a better version of it. Still 2 lanes, but the underground has been changed so that the bosses in the middle makes a little bit more sense. And also the golems switch lanes every round, so you don't have just like the golem lane that just pushes down one side and ends the game super quickly. The other side doesn't matter. So good stuff. Good to see that. New lane, 1 lane battleground, Silver City. This looks like just another ARAM map. So I'm excited about this. Lost Cavern was pretty cool. I don't think it was great, but it was pretty cool, and glad to see another ARAM map coming to the game. Art doesn't really matter. Shop doesn't matter. UI. Not really entirely sure what this means. I don't think that's necessarily useful. Let's see. This is good. So penalties for leaving games. You is basically just cleaning up the things and keeping people out of unranked draft if they start leaving a whole bunch of ranked games. So good stuff. MVP accommodations. You can now press tab to see the score screen during MVP. Good stuff. Design and gameplay, unrevealable heroes. I don't like this change. So now when a hero is considered unrevealable, aka when Samuro goes into stealth, they will no longer show a shimmer. They just disappear from the map entirely, which I think is bullshit. I absolutely disagree with that. We'll see. They're trying new things out with stealth heroes. I don't agree with this. One of the nice things about this game in particular is the shimmer mechanic. And if they remove that, then it's like I don't like it at all. Not at all. Nothing too important here except for Warhead Junction. So basically the warheads are going to scale linearly now instead of being random bullshit after 18 minutes. Because typically what you would do in competitive plays, you just, after you get like 2 or 3 nukes and you open up the middle of the map, you just hold on to them until you're level 20, and then you get a boss and push with it and win the game. Like, that was basically the strategy. Now it's going to have to be a little bit more calculated. And, you know, nukes are a little bit more expendable now, I think, as far as zone control and things like that. Chromie, increased level reduction for getting talents from 1 level to 2 levels. I think that's crazy. It's an interesting way to buffer because it basically allows her to get her power spikes. Sorry, excuse me, way sooner, without actually changing her base stats to be absolute complete bullshit. So, really interesting change there. I think it's really cool. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be one. You get 1 talent at level 2, and then your next power spike comes at level 2. Or, sorry, 1 and then 2. Your next talent spike is at 5, 8, 11, 15. Wait. I can't do these things. 11, 14, and then at 18. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be really interesting. Level 1s, I don't think these matter all that much. I don't think that's gonna change much about her. Kel'Thas Pyroblast got buffed. I doubt we'll be seeing Pyroblast anytime soon, but it's there. Kel'Thas is coming back in the meta, but I think with so many abilities like Dehaka's Burrow and having Medivh and stuff like that, like Pyroblast is still not going to be a thing, especially since it doesn't do damage to structures or objectives. It's never been, like, big nukes have never been good in this game, and they likely won't be good going into the future. So, whatever. Ground visual effects can now be seen by allies. I'm very happy about this. It absolutely needed to happen. Now you can see who Ariel is crowning, and it makes a lot more sense because now the team, like, your team is in the know. That's a good thing. Rehgar. So this is an interesting change. This is basically untangling a lot of the things that they took away from him when they first did the rework. And this is... he's really, I think, gonna be very scary. In the sense that he now just does incredible amounts of damage. He got like 20% basic attack damage buff. 20%. Like, that's insane. That applies to the Ghost Wolf Leap, whatever it's called. Like that applies to that. So like his crits on that are gonna be insane. They're gonna be so strong. They're basically bringing him up to the level of like Iron Fist Karazim. It's actually gonna be crazy. So I think if Karazim stays in the meta, we're definitely gonna see Karazim versus Rehgar in a lot of games. It's crazy. And Lightning Shield also got buffed. Storm Color. What is Storm Color? Let's see. And everyone always went Frail Heart or Healing Totem here. Storm Color. It restores mana. Yeah, nobody ever cares about that. That doesn't matter. Totemic Projection. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen because it's a dumb talent. Totemic Projection allows you to move the Earth Vine Totem, but it's just not useful, and it's on the same talent tier as Cleanse. It's never gonna happen. Just never gonna happen. So, Farseer's Blessing. The other big thing is Bloodlust. They changed Bloodlust, so now it has a Vamp component, and at level 20 it changes from 30 to 60%. That's pretty insane. Basically it means if you have a lot of auto attackers, they do get healed by Bloodlust, and you're not just relying entirely on that Ancestral. I think with the current meta, I don't think Bloodlust is going to see play anytime soon, especially since there are just so many there's so many disengaged tools right now. There's Earthquake, there's Emerald Wind, there's Twilight Dream, there's Horrify, there's Sanctification. There's so many big disengaged tools that are in the meta right now that I still don't think Bloodlust is going to be a thing. But that is a pretty scary change, and could be really, really scary in the future. We'll just have to see. I could be wrong, but you never know. So basically, my idea is that Rehgar is going to get really, really, really powerful in this patch. We're going to see him jump pretty much to #1 after this. Artanis got a bunch of changes. It's going to be really difficult for me to go over all of these, but basically I'm just going to try to put it in broad strokes. So Blade Dash now has CDR reduction built into it for his Shield Overload. This is a talent that he used to have at level 4 or 7. Was it 4 or 7? 7. So Bionic Energy, right? That was a pretty common talent that people would take. Basically, between auto attacks and your Qs, you juggled those abilities properly. Basically, he was shielded 100% of the time. Now, it's just kind of built into his Q. That's awesome. Twin Blades now dashes towards the edge of a hero's hitbox instead of the center. It's very good for him, although it technically makes kiting even more difficult, because now he's going to get the attack in, but he's not going to be able to get the second attack because he's too far away from the person, especially on a larger model like Stitches or something like that. So that may cause some issues. We'll have to see. It's going to be easier for him to get in range of people, but maybe harder for him to stay in range of people. Phase Prism can now be cast during Blade Dash, and the cooldown was increased by a little bit. I don't think the cooldown change is a big deal. Being able to cast it during Blade Dash is really cool, but from what I have experienced from the one time they tried it out and what I've seen so far is that it really just doesn't make a big difference because you're still throwing yourself into the enemy team It's in the current meta, like that's just a no-go because you just get blown up and it doesn't matter. Shield overload. The cooldown was increased, but the threshold was increased to 75%, and shield value was reduced. So basically, this is something that I've been talking about for a long time, and I think this is a huge buff to him. Even though the cooldown was increased and the shield value was decreased, I think it's still really good for him because it allows him to have more effective health. The problem with Artanis before was you only had 50% health. Like he was only, like, his actual health bar was only 50% of his life. The top half of his health bar just didn't matter at all. And now it's 25%. It doesn't really matter. And the 75% onwards, he's now going to actually be tanking. So I think that's a really good thing. And especially if he can tank well and continually reset the shields, he can stay alive for a lot longer now. So really good stuff. Shield value decrease, I think, was necessary for that. I'm really excited to see how this works out. Shield surge. I don't think that matters too much. Lethal alacrity was removed. If I remember correctly, lethal alacrities increases the blade dash speed and range by 30%. Not really important. This is better. Shield battery, I believe, before was like if it didn't break. Yeah, if it didn't break, then it was reduced, but like you wanted it to break, if possible, like you wanted to use the entire thing. Now it's like, now it makes a lot more sense. So basically, the longer you have the shield, the better it is. So that's a really good talent change. That's gonna make him way tankier. We may see something like this for his first three talents. Psionic energy was moved from level 7 to level 4. Oh, okay, well I guess that doesn't matter. So basically you have to choose between shield battery and psionic energy. Based on what I'm seeing here, the shield battery is still going to be better. So that's kind of a bad design. You never want to put redundant talents together. I think shield battery is going to be a lot stronger than psionic energy. Or vice versa. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be that psionic energy is like way superior to shield battery, but bad design there. Not very useful. Well, 7 Chrono Surge was also moved to 4. So moved from 4. That's pretty cool. I think you're still gonna see. Again, this is another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense. Because moving Chrono Surge to compete with follow through makes no sense, because follow through is always gonna outperform Chrono Surge in terms of damage, and you only get 1 extra attack from Chrono Surge anyway, so it's not like it greatly increases your CDR either. Burning Rage was moved to 16 from 13, and now it's called Plasma Burn. That's stupid. Burning Rage was rarely taken on him before, and now it's completely useless, so we'll still take Shield Surge. Overall, though, I think it's really good. I think it's really good buffs. It's not enough to put him in a place where he's going to be a go-to hero. They still need to clean up his auto attacks before that ever happens. We'll see how that turns out. I think some of the talent changes that they made were dumb. They've had consistently bad choices as far as changing Artanis' talents. We'll see. Dehaka got some pretty nasty buffs. So Brush Tucker got nerfed due to the global changes, but now he kind of has the needly treatment where he moves faster if he goes through a bush. So good stuff there. Bro can be cancelled, great stuff. Adaptation now doesn't suck as much. I think this is bullshit. They added a level 1 talent that makes Dehaka take 40% less damage from abilities while Darkstorm is active. I don't know if that's just like absolutely insane or not. Since he's already got the speed buffs built in, I think that enhanced agility, which was pretty high up there, is not going to be taken anymore. The other one was tissue regeneration, but if you just have a permanent like 40% reduction, like that's it doesn't even matter. It's just kind of ridiculous. The next thing is enhanced agility. Yeah, I don't really think that's going to be super necessary. Trigger strain knocks people away. That's no, not going to work. Doesn't matter. This is kind of nice, but I still not 100% sure about buffing the Swift Pursuit or Ferocious Stalker. Those are pretty weird, but they are removing Whirling Dervish, which is pretty much a go-to. That was like pretty amazing, to be honest. You know, it's basically an insane Relentless. They're on 13. So the other two might become doable. That's actually a pretty cool talent. Enemies affected by Darkstorm take 15% increased damage from all sources. So that's an aggressive talent, which works pretty nicely in this tier. Regeneration moving. Tunneling Claws is really cool, but probably I'm not 100% sure that we're going to see that. Since Elongated Tongue was pretty much the go-to, just because drag is so hard to hit. And some changes here at level 20. That's really nice that basic attacks against enemy heroes grant Dehaka at 5 essence. That's pretty cool. Especially since he's going to be losing Hardened Shield. I think because he's losing Hardened Shield, it kind of almost makes adaptation a lot stronger. Basically, the new go-to talent, but we'll have to see. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. So, well, I think these are definitely overall positive changes for Dehaka, and I think he's definitely going to see even more play that he's seeing right now. I don't know if he'll be a solo tank, but he's definitely going to be really annoying as a bruiser, as a secondary tank now. Diablo, there are a lot of stuff to talk about with Diablo. Diablo has been all over the place for a long time. But they were doing some really nice things with this. So Shadow Charge grants resistance, and they've added like a huge bonus if they collide with the terrain, and reduce the base damage. So good stuff. This basically makes it so you want to bash people into the wall. Wall bangs are super important. Fire Stomp returns, and overall is a pretty huge buff. So at level 1, he's going to have way better wave clear, even from level 1. And Black Soulstone got a huge buff, so good stuff, good stuff. This is a really cool passive. The Regeneration Globes and Healing Fountains are 2% more effective for every stack that you have of Soulstone. So good stuff there. I really think that's a cool design. Basically allows you to... It's good to collect the Soulstone still, but it no longer directly affects your max health or regeneration. Now it is more in line with where you are and what you're doing at the time. So it's less strong. It's less of a go-to talent and more of a situational talent, which you always want to have such situational talents in this game. It's always going to be better. That's pretty cool. Basically just giving him longer resistance. Makes it so that when he goes in, he just doesn't die instantly. So good stuff there. All of these are pretty cool. There's not really much to add. The battle momentum only work for Shadow Charge and Overpower. They don't work for Fire Stomp. Okay. That's pretty neat. Each Soulstone stack Diablo has grants him resistance to enemy abilities. So when you have full stacks, you kind of have a permanent spell shield on. So that's really cool. Might actually make him a little overpowered, to be honest. With that, plus the extra health that he gets, like by the time he's 10, like he could be basically unkillable. So that may be a little bit dangerous. We'll have to see. Fire Devil got added up to here. So that's his really like big time scary damage. Fire Devil was one of the things that made him one of the higher damage tanks for. Now it's moved to 13, so he doesn't really get that huge power spike. I think he probably still does more damage early on if you charge people into a wall, but otherwise I think his damage is greatly increased or greatly reduced at the earlier levels, and stronger at the later levels, which is good design for a tank. I think it's really bad to give tanks big damage power spikes early and then tanky abilities later. That was basically the Artanis problem for a long time. Ult of the Storm was removed, that's fine because it was whatever. Didn't make a lot of sense. Overall, some really interesting changes. It's hard to tell if he'll be really, really good or really, really bad. But definitely some new ideas here that are really cool. I am looking forward to seeing this being played out. Zarya, basically just fixed her up. Yeah, okay. So basically she no longer has to stay still when she pressed Q. That's a huge improvement. One of the problems with her bulkiness was she would stop and have to press Q and then like start running towards people again. It made it really, really ugly. So now it kind of does it as she's walking, so that's good stuff to see. As far as bug fixes go, nothing super important, I think. Here, Thrall slows minions and mercenaries in addition to heroes. Not a huge deal, but I guess it's alright. So yeah, that's basically everything. So just to review real quick, we have Ragnaros is coming in, Pot of Mines is coming back, we have a new ARAM map. They're changing the way that matchmaking works. Hero League is now solo only, Team League is 2, 3, and 5. Unrevealable heroes are bullshit. Warheads on Warhead Junction scale linearly. Chromie gets talents way earlier. Kael'thas, blah. Ariel crowns can be seen by allies, good stuff. Rehgar OP. Artanis, big buff, still questionable. Dhaka, big buff, still questionable. Diablo, lots of interesting changes. I think big buffs, hard to tell. And Zarya, quality of life changes. That's basically the TLDR. I'm pretty tired now. I've been speaking for about an hour and a half, and I'm not used to that. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you guys join me next time. Next time I go over all the patch notes and stuff like that. If you have any ideas or things that you'd like to add, let me know down below. I'd be happy to hear them and comment back. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Later.